Hey guys, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me today. I am doing another pick a project video. We are in the process of getting projects started. So as you know, and you can still sort of see the edges of them here. The piles don't look like they're getting any smaller, but I swear I've broken down more books. I'm in the middle of doing a massive little golden book breakdown. And some of the first ones I showed you that I broke down were these little Happy Day books. And they're very similar to little golden books. So while this isn't officially a little golden book, this is the little golden book project that I'm going to work on right now. This book is called How God Gives Us Popcorn. And I picked it and I was really excited about it. And I'm not excited about it now. It's just that I am finding that it is a little more difficult for me to find, pages and stuff to go in it as far as scrapbook paper, because I am trying to pull from my scrapbook stash so that I can use up scrapbook paper, because I have tons of it, pads of it, piles of it. And I need to go through it and make things out of it so that I can, go buy new scrapbook paper. Because that's fun, right? Okay, anyway. So this book is about the history of popcorn to some extent. I actually learned something that it was interesting about Indians eating popcorn. So I wanted to go through this, and I did pull some paper. I don't know, like this is like a yellow orangey paper that I thought went good just because it's popcorn. Will more than likely cover or coffee dye the back. I pulled these, and I want to use this bright stripe because I have these, and I'm pretty sure one of these will go in each signature. So, because what's really nice about these bags is they are the kind that we make, the DIY kind, where you fold it over and then you fold up the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it's a paper sack, and I do want to use these. More than likely, I will cut the end off and fold this in so that you get a pocket on both sides. I don't want to fold the word, so it would have to be like that. So this one's going to be a shorter pocket than this one. I would also probably trim off some of this. So that would go into each signature. And because of the brightness of the red, I thought bright colors might be better. So I have two of these. One might get used as a page, one for ephemera. I found a yellow piece of cardstock. There is a section in here about the Pilgrims. So the Pilgrims and the Indians' first Thanksgiving here in the U.S. So I did put this page in there. I thought this was fun. So we have this sheet, and I think that's all I found. And I found this. Speaking of paper sacks, this is one of the ones that we've made, which I apparently have not glued together. This is one of the ones that I have made that I thought I liked the colors, so I thought maybe we would use that in here too as a pocket. So I'm going to get my other popcorn bag, and we are going to see about putting papers in this book, in the signature, and we'll figure out what other papers we want to go in here. I think paper selection is where we'll start, obviously, and then we'll move on from there. I don't know how far we'll get, but I figured we could get started and see how it goes. So this is it's two signatures, just like a little golden book. And I like to cover my, I like to put a piece of cardstock around this, cover my signatures. However, I like to do it with coordinating paper, so I don't know, because, or at least something that doesn't clash. Because when you open the book and you have both signatures open, those pages are going to be next to each other. So it doesn't have to match, but I would prefer it not clash, if that makes sense. And what I might do is put, this isn't cardstock though. I was going to say I could do that and this, because those would go just fine. But this isn't cardstock. This is just paper. Not that that's, I mean, it's a heavyweight paper. It's not horrible. My other thought, honestly, was because they have a map out, I was going to do this. Because if I cut this off the size of the pages, it takes it off below America the Beautiful, and I don't have to worry about folding the words in half. I mean, it would fold the country in half, but, you know, whatever. But the part that they're looking at would be on this page. I think we might do that. And then on this side, we might still use this. And then I can just decorate this up. Put a pocket on it or something. Okay. So, having said that, let's find out how tall our pages need to be. Because I don't remember. Something's upside down. Something's not upside down. What is going on? You know what? I'll figure it out in a minute. No, I need one of those. Guys? Okay. Let's see how tall we need our pages. Of course, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 7 7/8. I mean, I have an 1/8 marker down here, but I don't have anything to line it up with up there because I had to cut the top of my mat off. Okay, so, ooh, you know what I might do? I'm going to bring this low, guys. You guys, we're going to do 7/8 on that end, and then I'll just count over 7. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need my long ruler. So we're going to cut it right here. I had actually had someone graciously commented to me on my, stay up against the ruler, Cindy. Somebody graciously commented on my Little Golden Book breakdown, and had commented that they have a stash of Little Golden Books, and we're looking for ways to, you know, break them down, store them, do all the things that I'm trying to get mine done with mine. Yeah. And they wanted to see how I made a journal out of one. I'm going to say that I have admittedly only done one of these. So you're going to watch this process. I don't have a set process, but I do, there are certain things I like. Like I said, I like to cover the signature with a piece of scrapbook paper. Now, something you will find out, if you fold a piece of scrapbook paper in half on a Little Golden Book, these pages are not 6 inches wide. They are 6 3/4 inches wide. So these inevitably, if you want it to come out to the end, you either have to fold it uneven so that it comes out to the end on one side, and then you can make a pocket out of it on the other. And we will do that so you can see what I'm talking about. Or you have to put a page extension of some sort of page edge on here, which I will also be doing. So this is what it will look like until we get the page embellished. I like having a cover. The pages are just pages, and obviously, I mean, these Little Golden Books, some of them are from the 50s. So, you know, we're talking over 70 years old, and they've held up just fine. So it's not a matter of the paper. I just kind of like the cover on there. It's a personal preference, especially since you've only got a couple of places to put paper. And I like being able to put like a pocket or something on the front as you're getting started. Sometimes I'll do a window if the image on the page, like this image is kind of big. But if there's something centered, I might cut a window in this front piece. So yeah, all kinds of stuff to do with that. But that's the page I wanted to put on there. Now let's cut our other one. I'm going to set this aside. I cut off the part that's less yellow, and I'm glad I cut wrong on this piece and not the page piece. But we will use this for pockets or whatever. So we'll set this aside for ephemera in the project. And we are going to, once again, I'm going to go down here off camera with you guys, just because this made it a lot easier to count off the height. I think I did it in the same place, but I'm going to count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I did. I don't want to do that. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to bring this up. I might have to cut off the top corner of Washington State. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then I can use that in a signature center or something like that. This, I'm going to turn around this way and put it at the 1/8 mark. And then cut off. It's going to be above the stars, but below the blue. So we'll lose the stars, but we'll keep the blue stripe. What is going on? Are you not straight? That stripe of stars better be straight. It looks like I'm going to be like getting tips of them on the other end up there. No, I think it cut above them. All right, good. Okay, so that will be, I'll fold it in half, and that's going to be this page. Like that. Figured out my cover, guys. That's not really what I wanted, but okay. All right, so those are my 2 signatures, and when you open it up, so we'll have this like this, and I could even figure out a way to use this on here, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ooh, maybe I'll do one of those diagonal belly bands. Okay, enough of that. So here's our 2 signatures. The next thing we have to do is look inside and see where we want to put other paper. So right in here we have circus. This is where I was thinking I would put the first bag. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim this end where I want I'm going to have to cut more, but I don't need that right now. It's very cumbersome using that big long ruler. I don't mind it, but it's big. Okay, so I'm going to cut the top off of this. That's a little bit of excess that I don't need. And then, oh, that cut off a lot more than I thought. Okay, well that's okay. Or I cut that lower than I thought I was going to. Okay, and then what I thought I would do is put this in here. So that's going to go in there as a little paper sack. Now the other thing you can do, because I have done this when I have cut them open, let me cut this off of here. Let's cut this off. Remember, one end's going to be shorter than the other. I think I'm going to take this whole bottom piece off. Because I want to show you something that's an option to make your pocket wider if you want for these bags. A lot of these sacks are just folded at the side like this, so there's no gusset. These sacks while they are just folded up at the bottom, they are gusseted on the sides. Okay, so what I have done in the past with gusseted bags is I have turned them into a tube and then refolded the gusset outward like this on either side. Now this might make it too tall for the book. Oh, let's see. Because that's a pretty big gusset. So let's see if that makes it too tall for the book. And then this was our fold. So we'll refold it here. Okay, and your pocket is wider now and you can fit more in it. And now I just have to make sure that it fits. Oh, it's bigger than the book if I do that. So the options would be, of course, cutting the bottom and re-gluing it, or just tucking the gusset back in and keeping it the way it was, which I might do just because the other option you have is because of the gusset almost acts like a divider. This is just me spewing thoughts out loud. The gusset almost acts as a divider, so you could almost use it as a double pocket or a layered pocket. You can stick two things in there. All right, so having done that, but for future reference, if you have a book that's big enough, you can always take the gusset out of your pocket. So we're going to put that there. And on the other side, it's in this cave. So I don't mind the red stripes in the cave. So that's okay. We're good with that. And the question would be, do I want to put a piece of scrapbook paper in here or just wait till I get to the next? I don't necessarily put scrapbook paper between every page in the little golden book. This is where I wanted to put this paper. Again, we are going to have to trim this. I think it's too tall because it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so it's definitely too tall. But I thought that this would be fun in here, like this. Okay. Now, we have two full thankfuls. I'm going to cut at this end. Just because that way I keep the two full thankfuls. I don't cut the end of this one off. I still struggle with putting words in sideways, so, you know, this is a big deal for me. All right, and we put that in there, and this has even more space. All of the pages do not have to be the same size. I'm sure tons of you know that. If you're new to junk journaling, it's something that a lot of people do, is they make pages different sizes on purpose for aesthetic purposes in the journal. So they do not all have to be the same size. The one thing I don't like to do, and this is doing, is I don't like to cut pictures in half. But it doesn't cut any people in half, so I think I'm okay with it. Like I have one book where if you watch when I'm doing the little golden book breakdown thing, I have one book where if you do it, you're going to cut Santa in half. He's laying in bed and his feet are on one page and he's on the other. So if you put a piece of paper in there, you're cutting him off from his feet. It's stuff like that I don't like to. Okay, now this one might be where I put the other sack. And what it might end up being is a flip out. So like I would put a piece of paper on here and maybe glue it. Oh, I could put a piece of paper on there and glue it as a tuck on this side and a sack on this side. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here because this is where I want it. And we're going to say that we are, with what I have out right now, that is what is in this signature. I am not done, but that's what's in here using what I've got out on the thing. For this one, we're going to go in here and put our, where is the, okay. So this is the page where they're, Okay, so our bag is going to go in here, I think. Let's cut the end off this end. Okay, and we'll trim the top. Again, you know, all of this is personal preference. If you like the top of the bag like that, or maybe you just want to cut the corners so that it does the taper thing, you know, all of this is completely personal preference. I am going to fold below the popcorn word again so that I have, once again, uneven sides, but that's okay. I got these, by the way, if anybody's looking for cool little popcorn bags, I got these at the Dollar Tree. They're not vintage. I didn't find them in a thrift shop or anything like that. I found them at Dollar Tree. Okay, and we're going to put the popcorn over here where they're eating popcorn with the kids. Like that. Okay. So we have that in there. And then that's our middle. We didn't end up using the quilt. I'm wondering if I should use the quilt and not the stripes. I know I got those stripes out to use, but I'm thinking I might use the quilt and not the stripes. Oh, my signatures are actually in my way, guys. Okay. So let's cut this one off real quick, and then we can look for some other cool papers to put in. Oh, I need my towel roller. I have this specifically because this is exactly 12 inches, and I can't line up straight with it on a piece of scrapbook paper. So this is specifically to cut a full-size piece of scrapbook paper. And then once it's been cut, I can use the little ruler. Well, depending on which way I'm cutting it again. Okay, so that there, this folded and into the book. And of course, dealing with the white sides of the paper is always going to be personal preference. I like decoupaging napkin on them. The other thing I have discovered that I like doing is just getting a cup of coffee and painting the coffee dye on them. And then I have a heat tool and I blow it dry real quick so that it's done and I don't have to worry about it. And I think I'm going to put this one right here. Okay, so far those are our two signatures. The other thing you might want to do, and this is just a suggestion, because if you're doing this for the first time or you've never made a journal or you know, whatever, as you stack pages and fold them over each other, you get the pages push in and out. So the center ones are going to start poking further and further out, and these ones are going to be further back. So what you might want to do before you start trying to put page edges and anything like that on there is wait until you have all your pages in where you want them, and then do your trimming and edging and all of that so that you know how much space you need to cover or take off. Does that make sense? I have done it where I have gotten the signature the way I thought I want it, cut the pages, and then I said, no, I'm going to rearrange it, and I do it, and you have to recut some of the pages you stuck in toward the center, and then your center ones are also too short when you stick them toward the outside. So just a thought for that. I am going to hold one duck down here for a second. Okay, so I got some of this, which I'm going to put a couple of pages in. Get one for each signature. I think I'm going to stick to 2 signatures right now. I am still in the process of doing the whole don't make your book too fat thing. So let's see if I can get 2 signatures without being too fat for the cover, whatever spine I decide to make. I'm hoping that making the signatures first and then kind of getting an idea of how thick my book might be will help me to decide on the width of the spine I'm going to put on this thing. Okay, so we've got a page, some handwriting paper. I was looking for my coloring book pages. Guys, I stashed them somewhere and I don't know where they are. So, like, I can't even tell you what I did with them. I wanted to use them, but I can't find them, so we won't be doing that. I do, however, want to put some of some calendar paper in there. So, like this has got the colors on it, and we may or may not leave those colors because they are like didn't even come close to folding straight. They are what do you call it? Little tabs, because they're separated by the binding thing. It's one of those, like the Happy Journal bound with the little plastic coin things. I don't remember what that's called. One of you can enlighten me. Okay, so we have a regular page, and then maybe we can use this page, which is a little bit different. It's got the beginning of the month thing in it. So we'll put one of these in each signature. Okay, so we have those. Sorry, I know this is kind of like, who cares? We can pick these for ourselves. I'm not. I do. I actually will sit. I've watched a couple people just do, like, just put together signatures. I've done it because I'm always looking for, new ideas for what to use for pages. I'm going to put this in. Sorry about that. Okay. So the other one may be one of these picture ones. Okay, let me put this back down on the little floor here. This too. I got limited space, so try and put things away as I go. All right. So we have our 2 signatures. Let's see if we can't place these pieces of ephemera. We're not going to put anything in here. I might, however, put something in here with the bag, like this. I may trim those torn edges later down the road. It just depends, so we'll just wait and see how it goes. So we have that. And a lot of times what I like to do is, so that everything isn't centered perfectly, is I'll push something toward the bottom and something toward the top. So it's not all, And then we'll move, what else do we have? We have the handwriting paper and the calendar page. And then I don't have a signature center, so let's see. Handwriting paper can go in there like that. The lines kind of tie in with these blue leaves, so that's kind of nice. keep that on track. And then maybe is either one of these November? I think that would be funny. I don't think it is. That one's not either. Oh, no, they both say October on them. I suppose I could get a November one. Although I don't know what I did with the stack of calendar pages, because I'm looking at where it was and it's not there anymore, so I apparently didn't put it back. That's the other reason I have to put things back. I lose them. So let's put this in here, and if I find them, I may actually switch that out, just because. Okay, and I think that will be good for now. So that is our signature so far, and so far it's got 1, 2, a pocket, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 16 pages. I think that's a pretty decent sized signature. I might not add anything else. We'll have to see. Or if I come across something else I want to add, I might swap out rather than add. Okay, so let me, with that in mind, see where we want to put everything in here. So, maybe I'll put the calendar page here. There is going to be something done in the center. I just don't know if I'm going to put some of these pages in the center. And what I might do is put this on the outside of this page and that on the inside. So it'll go like this. And then like this. Like that. I think I want it like that. Okay. And voila. That one has all of its little pages in. All right, so there we are. This will get clipped back into the little book. I do have a clip. Oh, and blue pages. And so that's where we are right now. And as you can see, even though I have this all the way back, even with the spine where it used to be, the pages are now starting to stick out because I've added to it and it's doing some of that push out. So when we do get around to doing this and I do end up putting the cover on, one of the things we're going to have to do is, you know, trim these off. But in the meantime, this is where we are. So this is step 1 in putting together the little golden book is I go through and find all my pages. I am hoping that this does not turn out too overly chunky. I'm hoping to try and keep it at a decent thickness. I'm glad that my signatures right now are relatively thin because that means I can play with pockets and I can play with textures and I might be able to add buttons and things like that without making it too crazy. So I'm looking forward to doing that. As I also said, we might still make some like sew-in pockets and stuff like that. So there may still be some things that get folded into the, kind of like the bag, except we'll make them out of pages and stuff. I look forward to working on this little golden book with you guys, and I will see you guys in the next Pick a Project video. Bye-bye.